Do you feel it? Can you feel it? The words of that song are so beautiful, but the energy that Denise and the team and the band brought to it really allows you to just kind of feel that human heart. I was looking at the lyrics, I was listening to the song as I was preparing for this talk, and I thought it was a great song. But what happened to me at the first service and then again this service is can you feel that? I mean, like we're so one, and we so don't know it. Breathe into it. We are, each and every person on this planet, not only just in this room, but on this planet, we are part of the one human heart. We are individualized expressions. We are important, vitally important to humanity. And the human heart, the heart of humanity, is one and the same with the heart of God. And when you come into a place that you start to experience that, everything changes. Like all suffering disappears. Anybody in here ever suffer? Anybody in here suffer this week? Anybody in here suffer yet this morning? If somebody's raising somebody else's hand over here, I'm not sure which one of them's suffering, right? So we have the title I titled this talk today, "The Key to End All Suffering," and I thought, oh, well, that's going to be a good one, right? Yes? But first, before we answer that, before we give you the key to end all suffering, we ask the question, why do we suffer? Because we allow ourselves, because it's habit, because we don't know any better, because it's a part of our human condition. Emily Cady, one of our classic textbooks in Unity, she was a teacher, actually, of Charles and Myrtle at one point, and then they began to work together, and she developed this little book through a series of articles in Unity magazine, and then she put the book together. So in chapter 1, first lesson, precept number 1. Every man, which of course means woman and child as well, every person believes himself to be in bondage to the flesh and to the things of the flesh. All suffering is a result of this belief. Basic classic Unity teachings. All suffering is because we believe that we're in bondage to the flesh. We believe we're in bondage to the things of the flesh, which simply means that we believe in separation. We believe the illusion of separation. We are one with the presence and power that we call God. We are one with each other. We are one humanity, one human heart, but we believe differently. This belief is the cause of all suffering, no matter what you're suffering about. Now, it's not the end of all pain. Pain happens, but suffering is optional. Who said that? That's a quote from a long time ago. All suffering is optional. So in this book that I've been working in, Falling into Grace, Lessons in Truth is available in our bookstore. Falling into Grace is on back order, so we actually don't have copies of it, but you can it's ordered, so you can sign up and get it. But in this book, Adyashanti is the author. Falling into Grace, Insights on the End of Suffering. He talks about the 3 ways, or the 3 reasons, ways and reasons of suffering. The first one is the illusion of control. Yeah, I know, right? The illusion of control. We think we have control over something. We want control over anything. We desire control over everything. It's an illusion, people. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. You have no control over anything, and yet we want to control the universe, yes? We want to control our families, yes? Our spouses, our children, our parents, yes? our sisters and our brothers and our nieces and our nephews. I got a nephew I'm really wanting to help right now. I can't control him, right? I have no control. I want to control the weather. I'm happy when it's this way, but not that way. I'm wanting to control the stock market or the sports team that I'm following, right? And we think we can control, but we can't control. Think about what we can't control. Okay, think about it. Can you control anybody else? Why do you keep trying? We can't even control the thoughts that come into our mind, yes? Right? Sometimes, those of us who have been on the spiritual path for a really, really long time and we have a really, really, really good day, sometimes we can begin to control the words that come out of our mouth. Sometimes. So give it up. Because this illusion that we can control anything causes us to suffer. You see that? It's like, I can't control it anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I went to Austin on Friday and did an open heart meditation on Friday night and then saw some friends who were going away party for some friends on Saturday. So, the drive to Austin is hit or miss, right? Right? Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. It's 50-50, I'm thinking, my experience. So I'm driving along and I am practicing my mantra for the day, my work for the day is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Well, you got to be careful when you take a spiritual practice on, because guess what's going to happen? You get to practice, right? So I'm driving along and everything is going good. Well, there was a little stuff on the Dallas tollway before I even got into Dallas, and then there was a little thing on 35, and then there was that other little thing, but no big deal, right? And so I stopped for gas, and I text my friend. I said, I'm on time for a 1 p.m. arrival. Yes! And then I come into Waco. 6 miles in 45 minutes. I'm practicing. You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I stepped into suffering a few times, and I just went, what if it doesn't matter? What if it just doesn't matter? And all my suffering left. And I became aware of such different things. I mean, I was like checking out the cars. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want a new car. Mine's got a little crunch thing in it that hasn't gotten fixed yet, and and I'm checking out, God, that's a really big truck, and I'm just like totally in this other space. So let go. You can't control it anyway. Second way is demanding things to be different. Breathe. Demanding things to be different. I want this, I don't want that, I want it this way, I don't want it that way, I want it the way I want it different than it is. Anybody? This shouldn't have happened, and that should have happened, and I can't believe it, and it's not okay. Yeah? Demanding things to be different is really about looking outside of ourselves in order to be happy. We all know that. I'll be happy when that person changes, and I'll be happy when that person, and I'll be happy when that happens, and I'll be happy when the weather changes, and I'll be happy, later. All outside. So when we let go of that, demanding things to be different, we come into the third way of suffering, or we come into a resolution of the third way of suffering, which is, the third way is arguing with what is. Arguing with what is. It shouldn't be sunny. It can't be this hot. It's only, it's May. No, it's June. It's June 1st. It could be hot in June. It shouldn't be. I don't want this. This can't happen. I don't want, it's the same thing. We argue all day long with what is. If we could simply accept what is, like go, oh man, this is what's going on. This is reality. Then you can breathe. You can accept, and then you can take empowered action. Then you end all suffering. Byron Katie, another author in our bookstore, her first book was called Loving What Is, and it's all about stop arguing with what is. Stop arguing with reality. And then you have the power to change it. Not necessarily the outer circumstances, but what's going on inside. He says Adyashanti says in this book, he says, if someone says to you, you can stop suffering. You can really, really, really stop suffering completely, right here and right